Bella in the Wych Elm. The Hagley Woods mystery, Bella in the Wych Elm. One Sunday morning in April 1943, during the dark days of World War II, 4 teenage boys made a terrifying discovery that would baffle the police and remain a mystery for over 70 years. The boys were searching for birds' nests at Hagley Woods, a private estate near Birmingham, in England's Midlands. Climbing up an ancient old wych elm tree, 15-year-old Bob Farmer saw something truly terrible. Looking down the hollowed out trunk, Farmer noticed a strange object staring back at him from the dark interior. The teenager was horrified when he realized it was a human skull. A clump of hair hung off the remaining flesh on the forehead, and 2 crooked teeth gaped out of the mouth. After the boys had a good look at their horrific find, they put it back in the tree and left the woods. They agreed amongst themselves not to tell anyone about their gruesome discovery. They were trespassing in the woods and poaching, which was illegal. If they told the police, they could be in big trouble. But one of the boys was so upset by what he saw, he told his father, and the police were soon called into the area. What they found inside the old tree trunk was bizarre. The skeleton of a young woman, minus one of her hands. A piece of taffeta was stuffed in the skull's mouth. Some scraps of clothes with labels cut out, battered shoes, and a gold ring were also found in the tree. Nearby were the bones of the woman's hand, scattered next to the tree. The police were troubled by the unusual circumstances of the woman's death, which were very sinister. Pathologist James Webster was able to determine the victim had died around 18 months prior, and she was around 35 years of age, with mousy coloured hair, 5 foot tall, and had given birth in the past. She had irregular teeth. Webster could find no obvious injuries and concluded she'd probably died as a result of the cloth stuffed down her throat. He also believed she'd been placed in the tree shortly after death because the space was so tight inside she would not have fitted once the rigor mortis had set in. From Webster's work, the police managed to create a detailed description of the woman, but nobody came forward, and a search for 3,000 missing person cases around the country proved fruitless. A nationwide search of dental practices also drew a blank. The woman had dental work done within a year of her death, but there was not a trace of her presence at any surgery. The flurry of press interest soon faded. The trials of the war were at the centre of people's thoughts. The area had suffered 3 years of Luftwaffe bombing, and life was hard. As Christmas 1943 approached, people had forgotten about the strange case of the woman in the tree, until the graffiti started. "Who put Lubella down the wych elm?" the first one said. Then, Hagley Wood Bella. Soon it settled on, "Who put Bella in the wych elm?" The graffiti appeared on walls throughout the West Midlands, seemingly by the same hand. Someone, it seemed, knew more than they were letting on. From then on, the woman found in the old elm at Hagley would be known as Bella, even by the police, but they were never able to find who was responsible for the graffiti, and were no closer to answering its question. Was the writer of the graffiti taunting the police? Had they killed Bella, or knew who had? Folklorist Margaret Murray suggested Bella may have been killed in an occult ceremony. The removal of the hand, typical of black magic execution. The theory that Bella had fallen victim to a coven of witches was popular for a while, but with the absence of any genuine leads from the police, the case eventually went cold. It wasn't until 1953 when journalist Wilfrid Byford Jones started to write about the old case in the Wolverhampton Express and Star that interest was revived. Byford Jones would soon receive the first solid lead in nearly a decade. A letter, signed only Anna, offered new details of what had happened to Bella. According to the letter, Bella had been murdered because of her involvement with a Nazi spy ring operating in the Midlands in the early 1940s. The spy theory seemed more rooted in reality than talk of witchcraft. Hundreds of German spies were captured in Britain during the war, and the Midlands would have been a valuable source of intelligence because of its prevalence of the munitions factories. Was Bella in the wych elm part of a Nazi spy ring? Other less exotic theories have been suggested over the years. Bella was a prostitute murdered by an angry John, or a local barmaid killed by an American GI. More far-fetched was that she was the gypsy killed in an occult ritual. It's doubtful we'll ever really know what's happened at Hagley Wood, but perhaps there is still someone out there that remembers what really happened. What do you guys think? Please leave your feedback in the comments below, and remember to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.